Hello, this is StudioHMP. I am B. My pronouns are she, her. This is a lot earlier than I planned on filming. I've been stitching up a storm so far this month. I've got a bunch of random new starts that just happened in the past couple of days. I've got some decent progress on a couple of things. So to keep my final video of the month short, I'm going to go over all of those really quick right now. Should hopefully be clocking around 20 minutes. I did already try to film this and it just didn't quite work out, so we'll see how this goes. Fingers very, very crossed. Okay, let's see. We're just going to hop pretty much right into this. I know you have a lot of options. I know you have a lot of things that you're engaged in, so let's just move this right along. I'm hoping, because I was rummaging through all this already, that everything's still unzipped and opened. Okay, so first project we are going to go over is Fruit of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. Did get a bit more in on that. Trying to finish out this entire motif before I continue working to the right. This is again by Modern Folk Embroidery, Fruit of Plenty. I'm doing this on a 25 count even weave, 1/1. Most of the colors I'm using are Dinky dyes. Black is black coral. The red is Shades of Wine, a beautiful variegated color. I did decide to go a little rogue and start adding in a couple more. The other berries are done in Eggplant by, I believe, Weeks Dye Works. The green of the leaves is Pickle by Pirate and Robin. I'm going to test out a completely crazy option for the bird. I haven't done it yet because I'm a little anxious. We'll see how it goes. If it works, great. If not, that's fine. I'll just swap it back out for one of the existing colors. I don't know how much of this I'm going to continue carrying through other motifs. I'm genuinely just going off of vibes. We'll see what happens and go from there. I couldn't begin to tell you. But I am still really enjoying this project now that I've got it more under control. Then we've got more progress on Great White Christmas. I picked it up again after my last video just to really try to finish out the shark, and I did. If we're going off of Jaws logic, I believe the shark was named Bruce. So I finished him out and I did a little bit more of this border. There's only a few more waves going this direction and then I'll know exactly what the width is that I'm working with. I just didn't quite get there on this one. And this is, Great White Christmas by Boomerang Stitches. I'm doing this on 28 count even weave called Midnight. I'm not sure who the dyer is. But I am really enjoying working on this. And I am doing that. This is one strand. I've got it partially folded again, but this is all one strand, even though it's 28 count. 1/2. I am almost done with Black Cat Spell. I am going to try to keep working on this until it is completely finished for the month. This is Black Cat Spell by Ketty. I got this off of Facebook, I believe. This is just a 14 count tea-dyed fabric that I did myself. And this is the spell that the Sanderson sisters use in Hocus Pocus to turn Thackeray Binks into a black cat. All I have left at this point is just this black cat in the bottom corner to depict Thackeray. And because I'm doing this with 3 strands of black to give really full coverage, it is kind of tiring for my hands, so I'm only working on it about 160 to 180 stitches a day. So it should only take me a couple days to finish this. Past few days were not it. But I am very close. It should be done by the end of the month for sure. Bear with me one moment. Things were starting to get unruly. Okay, I just had this one not that long ago. What did I do with it? There it is. Okay. This is a project I'm doing, for the Strawberry Moon Stitch Along that I believe is hosted by Marjorie Maid on both YouTube and Instagram. This is called Strawberry Fields by the Artsy Housewife. I'm doing this on 20 count dunes by BeStitchMe using the called for. I'm not 100% sold on this fabric choice, but I want to get a little bit further into it before I fully make a decision on that. But I am enjoying the stitch in general. Like, I think it'll be really fun once I get more into it. And get a bit more progress. And then related to monthly things, I've been working a bit more on the Pilgrim by Long Dog Samplers for June Dog specifically. And this is half of the width of the pattern because I started in the middle, worked my way over to this border. I'm using Aged Black by Valdani, and this is an 18 count, just white Ada. I will be incorporating a couple other colors in as I go and do things other than the main motifs. I just haven't gotten over to them yet. But it did feel good to get more of this specific motif filled in. So I've just been kind of working on the top part of this for a bit, and it wasn't really reflecting very much going on with it. As a side note, I'm not going to restart this because I think it'll be fine on the 18 count. But I am very grateful that the other one I started, which I will also probably be picking on a bit, which is Pandemic, is on 25 count. I think it's actually 22 count. I've been doing a few more projects on 25 and 22, and I really think those are my sweet spots for big projects. Okay, so that's it for the regular whips. I have a bunch of new starts. I kind of went from not really having many so far this year to going ham. It is what it is. This one is called Hot Drinks by Tinsel Cross Stitch. I'm doing it on 18 count Sand Dollar by BeStitchMe with the called for DMC. It's one of those patterns where it's cute and I'm going to enjoy stitching it, but I don't think I'm going to keep it. I have a feeling I'm going to give it to somebody, probably my mom. She's been doing a little bit of collecting of teapots. Nothing crazy, but she has a few. So I'll probably give it to her. The only thing I don't like about the pattern, and I understand why it is this way, but I might change it a little bit. So there's this top border along each of these sections, but that means there's no bottom border because there's only a top border. So I'm probably going to scooch up the bottom motifs to make room for a bottom border just to close it in. But in general, it is an enjoyable stitch so far. Again, I'm not super far into it, but for everything I started, I tried to get at least 100 stitches in just to get it a proper start going. This next one is, I've seen this both as the Coffee Sampler and Sampler Coffee by Happy Mood Point. I'm doing this on 20 count cold foam by BeStitchMe with a mix of Fudge, also from BeStitchMe, and ultimately I'll be adding in Toasty by Pirate and Robin as well for some of the other, like the inside parts of the motifs. So I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more of that in, and I'm completely fine with little bits of this ghosting on this fabric. I still think it'll look really great, and I have zero problems with that. In general, ghosting isn't something I'm too worried about. There's only some times where it's like, okay, no, you really need to be able to see all of this. Otherwise, what's the point? One of the larger new starts I have is called Palestinian Ornament, also by Tinsel Cross Stitch. You will notice a theme. There was a sale. Oops. I started this. I initially was looking at it going, there's no way I can do this on evenweave or linen. And then what did I do? I started it on an evenweave. It's fine. Everything is fine. This is 28 count gray sands by XJU Designs. No, 32 count. So sorry, 32 count gray sands by XJU Designs. I'm doing the called for. This is the full width of this side motif. I'm doing it just one strand over two. But this fabric is beautiful, and I think it'll be gorgeous with these colors. Then we've got this one is called Possessions. It's by Dots and Spots Shop. I'm doing this on 18 count red, or deep red, also by XJU Designs. I finally got turned to the Sulky fan club. It had been recommended to me over and over, so finally I went ahead and got it, and the coverage is phenomenal. This is just one strand on 18 count, and that is so thick. 2 C's with that thick. Fully converted. Love it. 10 out of 10. And that is a silky 12 weight, just one strand. And then I only have 2 more. This one I am going a little wild with, so I want to show the fabric first because it's beautiful. This is Halloween by Witch's Garden Crafts. It's weird, it's unusual, it's beautiful, I love it. 28 count, I believe, yes. And I am doing the pattern Halloween Primitive Sampler by AnnaXStitchArt. I'm changing up some of the colors based on what I have in my stash, but also to accommodate these 2 weird neon threads that I've gotten. I think they can be used along with crochet or knitting. You just kind of hold them along with your actual thread and stitch them that way. They're wild, but they are beautiful, and I think they'll be great on this fabric in particular and with this pattern in particular. There was also, when I was initially trying to decide what to do this pattern on, I was also thinking about possibly doing it on this hand-dyed charcoal that I did last year. And I might do this pattern a second time. I think there's less than 4,000 stitches, so it's not a huge project. This is the full height. I did not center it very well, but this is the full height. So I think it is doable, you know. Yeah, it's beautiful. These neon colors are really great. And I can't wait to see how this continues to turn out. Also, just a brief note. Because of the way that this, like it stitches really easily, but I have to go slow. But that means my stitches look fantastic. I'm so happy with them. Possibly the best my stitches have ever looked. And then lastly, for starts, this is technically full coverage. It's this really big geometric piece. It is called Uzbek Ornament, also by Tinsel Cross Stitch. I'm doing this on 25 count gridded just to make it easier on myself. I'm not quite 1% done with this. I'm working in diagonals. And this is the first time I think I've ever willingly and happily done parking, but it's purely because these are a bunch of straight lines. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing it, but it doesn't make sense to start and stop every diagonal if I'm just going to continue going in a straight line down for this. Yeah, this pattern the colors looked so gorgeous. So I am doing it according to the design. Not changing out anything for it. And then the only other new start I'm going to do eventually is Rainbow Dino by Daily Cross Stitch. I'm going to do that for Pride Month. I think it only has like less than 2,000 stitches, so it shouldn't be too big of a... I wanted to make sure I'm completing whatever I'm picking up for Pride Month this year. And then I also had started the Stitch for Pride stitch along. I didn't get very far, so I would like to work some more on that just for goals for the next couple of weeks. Other goals I want to continue working on either of my long dogs, and I want to finish Black Cat Spell. Those are kind of the only tried and true things that I absolutely want to finish. Or complete or just work on. And Strawberry Fields, that for the Strawberry Moon stitch along. But that's it. That's where we are. That's what we've got. Hopefully at the end of the month I'll have a better update. I'm genuinely feeling a lot more in my stitchy groove right now than I have for a while, so that feels really nice. I've just been really enjoying everything I'm working on. But since that is it, there's only one thing I wanted to call out this time around, and then all my usual additions will be at the end of the month. Tarot card pull, a fact, etc. But I did want to specifically call out, I still need to actually go back and comment it, a Stitch in the Matrix / Matrix Stitching, Wendy, did a whip parade that is just phenomenal. I won't spoil it, but within the first couple minutes, I was like, everyone just pack it up. Like, this is the best way to do this. It was so funny. I was laughing so much, and so many of her projects are stunningly gorgeous. Like, she has such a great eye for what she wants to work on, and her stitching is so beautiful. Absolutely check it out. It is a long video, so bring a snack, bring some stitching, etc. But very much worth the time to check it out if you haven't already seen it. It is so good. Other than that, like I said, everything else will be kind of picked up at the end of the month. Thank you again very much for being here. I know there's hundreds, if not at this point like 1,000 or some, floss tubers, so thank you very much for your time and attention today. I hope to see you again next time. Make sure to get enough water, stay safe, focus on what makes you happy, and I will see you next time.